Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Girl, sit down. No, seriously, grab the bottle of Pinot and sit all the way down because you are not going to believe the absolute circus my life has become. You know how stressed I've been about the wedding planning for October, right? Between the vendors, the flowers, and just trying to keep my sanity intact, I am at my breaking point. But none of it, compares to the nightmare that is my future sister-in-law. I need you to tell me if I'm being a bridezilla, because I genuinely feel like I'm the only sane person left on this planet. I told my partner last night, flat out, I do not want her there. I don't want her anywhere near me. I don't want her anywhere near our vows, and I certainly don't want her near the open bar. And now he is giving me the whole, keep the peace speech because he's terrified his brother won't show up if we exclude her. But honestly, at this point, I'm ready to burn the bridge if it means I don't have to deal with her toxicity on the most important day of my life. Let me back up because you need the full context to understand just how vile this woman has been. This isn't just me being petty about a guest list. This runs deep. Okay, so you remember a few months ago when my father-in-law passed away? It was devastating. The whole family was just wrecked. My partner was a mess. His mom was a mess. It was awful. Well, enter the girlfriend from hell. She's 27, dating my brother-in-law who is only 21. Which, fine, whatever, age gap, who cares? But they've been dating for less than a year. The day we found out that FIL had died, the grief was fresh. The air was so heavy you could choke on it. We're all sitting around, shell-shocked, tears streaming down our faces. And what is she doing? She is sitting there chugging wine straight out of the bottle, not a glass. The bottle. Just swigging it like she's at a frat party and not a house of mourning. And if that wasn't trashy enough, she starts loudly talking about how she wants to have a baby with BIL. I'm looking at her like, read the room, you lunatic. A man just died, but I bit my tongue, big mistake. I bit my tongue when my future sister-in-law was chugging wine the day my father-in-law died. Big mistake. Fast forward to the funeral. Oh my God, the funeral. This is where it goes from annoying drunk to unforgivable. You know the history, babe. You know what my partner and I have been through. You know that FIL's funeral was held at the exact same funeral home, the same rooms, the same hallways, where we held the service for our son. Just walking through those doors, it broke me. It felt like I was reliving the worst day of my life all over again. I was already hanging by a thread, trying to support my partner while my own heart was being ripped out of my chest again. The plan was simple. She was supposed to help me with the kids. There were 4 of them in total. I just needed another pair of eyes so I could focus on saying goodbye to my father-in-law. Instead, she got wasted. I'm talking slurring words, stumbling around, eyes glazed over, wasted. At a funeral, she was absolutely useless. Actually, she was worse than useless. She was a liability. The kids were running around, getting tired, and she was off in the corner knocking back drinks. It got so bad that the grieving daughter-in-law who was traumatized by being in that building, had to round up all 4 children by myself. I had to wrangle them into the car. I had to leave the wake. And because she was so incapacitated, my partner, the grieving son, had to leave his own father's funeral early just to help me get everyone home and into bed because she couldn't function. He didn't get to stay and share stories with his family. He didn't get that closure. And the cherry on top, she hasn't spoken to me since. Not a text, not a call. No, I'm so sorry I ruined the funeral. Nothing. She hasn't apologized for ruining the funeral. Nothing. Radio silence. She knows she messed up, but instead of apologizing, she's playing the avoidance game. So that brings us to the wedding. Exactly 1 month after the funeral, literally 30 days, she makes this grand announcement to the whole family. Guess what? She's pregnant. Remember the wine-swigging manifesto about wanting a baby? Well, she got her wish. Now do the math with me. My wedding is in October. She's pregnant now. That means she is going to have a newborn baby at my wedding. Listen, I love kids. You know I do. I have 0 problem with people bringing their children to the wedding usually. But this situation, it's a disaster waiting to happen. First of all, she already has a 5-year-old from a previous relationship. And look, I don't like to mom shame, but this kid, the child, has no boundaries. None. She lets him run wild. He screams, he breaks things, and she just sits there playing on her phone or drinking. She has absolutely no control over him. So now, picture my wedding day. I'm walking down the aisle. And in the pews, we have a feral 5-year-old running laps, a screaming newborn baby, and a mother who has a proven track record of getting blackout drunk at solemn family events. I can't do it. I don't want to spend my wedding reception looking over my shoulder, wondering if she's dropped the baby or if her son has knocked over the cake. I don't want to be worrying about whether she's going to make a scene. I told my partner, she is not invited. He looked at me like I had just shot a puppy. He said, "Babe, we have to invite her. If we don't, my brother won't come. And if my brother doesn't come, my mom will be devastated, and it'll cause a huge rift in the family." He said it'll cause a huge rift in the family if we don't invite her. I get it. I really do. I love his brother. He's young and dumb, but he's family. And I don't want my partner to not have his brother there. But why does keeping the peace always mean I have to suffer? Why does keeping the peace mean we have to tolerate disrespectful, chaotic behavior? She disrespected us at the funeral. She disrespected the memory of our son by making that day harder than it had to be. She hasn't apologized. And now she's bringing a circus to my wedding. My partner thinks we can just invite them and ignore them. Ignoring them? How do you ignore a drunk woman with a newborn and a wild child? That's like saying, just invite the tiger into the living room and ignore it. It's impossible. I feel like everyone is looking at me to be the bigger person, to suck it up because she's family now, even though they aren't married and have been dating for 5 minutes. But I am so tired of being the bigger person. I was the bigger person at the funeral when I hauled everyone home. I was the bigger person when she was chugging wine the day Phil died. When do I get to prioritize my own peace? When do I get to say enough? I told him that if his brother chooses not to come because his messy girlfriend isn't invited, then that's on him. That's his choice. But I am not paying for a plate for a woman who can't even look me in the eye and say sorry, and who I know in my bones is going to ruin the atmosphere. Am I being unreasonable? Is it really such a crime to want a drama-free wedding? I feel like I'm going crazy here. I just want one day where I don't have to clean up her mess. Just one. He pour me another glass. I'm shaking just talking about it. What would you do? Would you cave and let her come, or would you stand your ground and risk the family drama? Because right now, I'm ready to hire security just to keep her out.